Good afternoon. Welcome to Shortcuts that moving around your content. So that's whole copy and paste. We're going to look at some of the top 10 that we've actually got to be able to work with. Of course, there are plenty more, but let's get you some of my favourites to get you started. My name's Kirsty McGrath, and I'm the Productivity Specialist at DDLS, and we are about to do your Work Wonders 15 Minutes webinar, starting now at 2. It will run for 15 minutes, and at the end of those 15 minutes, do feel free to ask any questions. You'll see it over in the moderated chat pane on the right-hand side, and I will answer those as I can towards the end of the session. If you are in and you actually see the screen go black at any point and you're having any issues, do please refresh your browser, and if it's unsuccessful, then send a message through in chat. So what are we going to go through? Well, it's pretty much, the agenda is just copying and pasting, working on those copying and pasting, and the shortcut. You know, there's approximately sort of 8,000 odd features across Office, and the average user uses around about 200. And unfortunately, there's around about 1 billion people that don't know some of the basics of copy and paste, some simple features that I'm going to show you and how to work at. There's some really great fast ways to paste data, you know, when it comes to your Excel spreadsheets and the way to be able to work with them, getting stuff in and out of, say, Outlook or OneNote, working in Word. So we'll get in, we'll have a look at the shortcuts and the way to work with copied content. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to go over and I'm going to go into my demo screen share. So you'll see it come up on the screen shortly, and I am going to start in Word. So hopefully that should come up in a second. So working with Word, some of the features, and I do get a lot of questions in regards to simple things like copying and pasting, saying I've brought content in and it's not fitting on the page, or it's bringing the structure over, or I see a lot of content that's been copied and pasted into documents, whether it's PowerPoint or Word, and your formatting all becomes a mess very quickly. Or I see a lot of copy and paste where it's taking you a really long time to be able to do some of the more simple functions across the Office suite. I'm going to start with one, and it's working with the new Wikipedia app in Word. If you don't have Wikipedia, it is in here. It's through the store. You can actually get it in, so hopefully everyone's got access to the store. If not, then it will be a little difficult for you for this one. However, if I go in and I want to go to the store, I can go in, browse, get the app, download it, and what will happen is I've got Wikipedia coming up over on the right-hand side. I use this regularly if I'm doing some research, because one of the great things about getting information from Wikipedia is it will bring up a wealth of information, including pictures. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy some of this information over into Word. So say I grab just that first paragraph, for example. I'm just going to go Control-C. Don't have to. I don't even need to go Control-C, Control-V, because I've got my little insert button here. So I'm just going to click on it, and it's dropping it in for me. Not only does it drop it in, but it gives you the reference back to where you've actually received it from. But what I particularly like is, say I go and highlight a word. So if I go back and I highlight a word, it will go into Wikipedia and then search on that word, whatever it is that might be. So if I go and choose, say, Mediterranean, for example, Wiki is automatically on the right-hand side looking up anything around Mediterranean, and I can start to bring in more information from my Wiki over on the right-hand side. Some really simple features there. I could be choosing, say I want to get a picture as well, so I'll go back to my bay leaf scenario. It helps if I don't put an E on the end. Okay, go back to my bay leaf, and I also want to drop in that picture. So I get my little plus button, and it will bring over a picture for me as well. And you know, all these features do get referenced back. Really great tool to be able to work with. What if I then wanted to bring some information? I'm going to copy it from another document. So I've got one over here. So I've just gone in, here's some information around Bayleaf. I'm going to copy and paste this. Now, I can do it multiple of ways. There are those that will come up to the top and go click on the Home tab, go click on Copy, and then go over to the other document, go click Paste. There are some quicker ways. Some will do a right click and do a copy, or you can do your keyboard shortcut, Control-C, and I'll come over and then I'm just going to come down and go Control V. Now, the formatting that I've had come over compared to what I've got up the top is actually different. Down the bottom, I've got my paste option. So as a part of my pasting, if I just went Control, because that's the keyboard shortcut, I can go Control, and then if I just pause for a moment and then go M, what it does is it actually merges the formatting. If I hover over it, you'll see here is my merge formatting. So when I do my copy and paste, if I go undo, if I go, I want to paste that in, I then go C for Control, wait a moment, and then I go M, and what it'll do is it'll actually merge those formatting together. That way I'm bringing the same look and feel into my document as I'm moving from one to the next. It's a much easier way for you to be able to work. What about formatting? So we did a little bit there in terms of merging formatting. But you've got your format painter. So this is that whole copy and paste. If you've got formatting that you like and you want to work with, maybe you've changed a particular look and feel of your headings, you can come up to the top and click on your format painter. But if I click it once, it's only available for me to use the once. However, if I double click the format painter, what will happen is it actually stays on until such stage as I've actually finished with it. So if I've got a look and feel, undo, and I do a double click on it, I can keep working with my heading until I'm done. The same can be said with the keyboard shortcut for it. A lot of us use Control C to copy, Control V to paste, but if I do instead, so I'm just going to do a triple click there and grab that sentence, I'm going to do instead Control Shift C to copy, choose the word that I want, Control Shift V to paste. It copies and pastes my formatting. So it's not just about copy and paste. I can copy and paste my formatting. I don't need to double click on my format painter, because as long as I'm situated anywhere within that new formatting, Control Shift C, and move someone else, Control Shift V, it will recognize it. I just have to be sitting within the word somewhere of what it is that I want. Really quick, simple tool. What about if I want to select some information on the page, and that selection I'm going to copy and paste, but I only want a certain amount of information. Sometimes we've got tables or we've got lists and it's not copying correctly as a part of our table or our list. Maybe I want to keep off tomatoes in my little dot point list here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold down my Alt key as I'm selecting. You can see I can select just certain components. Okay, I'll go, I want to just choose this information here. I don't want tomatoes in my list. Now I'm going to go Control Copy, go Control N for new, and I'm just going to paste it. And I didn't bring my bullet points, I didn't bring tomatoes, and I've just brought over the list of what it is that I want to bring. So you can sort of chop out the way that you actually work. Now, what else is there? So I've got this. This is just some of the stuff in Word. Let's go over into Excel. I get a lot of questions around Excel and working with Excel. When I'm copying and pasting, don't forget, across both Word and Excel, you've got Paste Special, really great feature for you to be able to choose different things that you might actually need out of a list. So if I'm going to copy and paste, it could be, I've got my list that I want to work with. Maybe I want it with my headings as well, so I'm just going to hold my Shift key and I'm going to go back up. When I go to copy this, if I want, I can actually transpose it. There's a couple of ways for me to be able to do that. So I want to swap my table. I want to actually have my headings completely flipped. I can come up to my paste up the top here, and I could do a transpose through there, or I can go through my Paste Special. Now this particular one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of its table format. Let me just clear the table format and convert it back to arrange, so that I can quickly and easily do that. Copy, come over here, and in my paste, now I've got what's called transpose. So it's going to flip it. It's putting my names running across the top and my data underneath. That same feature is there Control-Alt-V is your paste format. So if I go Control-Alt-V, it brings up my paste special. It's my keyboard shortcut for paste special. And I could have chosen not only transpose, but there are things like column widths bring that over as well. So I can bring in multiple components as a part of my copy and paste. So it depends on what it is that you wish to do for a particular table. If I'm copying from one place to another, so say I do this again, copy, and I come over, let me show you those column widths, because if I paste it, you'll see it's not working in terms of those column widths. Have a look at the different features that are there as a part of your paste. A really great one is keep those sources. Get those sources, bring it over, don't sit there and drag out every single column as you go as a part of your copy and paste. It's a much easier way. Sometimes we hide columns. So say I want to hide what I've got here. There are multiple ways to be able to hide. Today, I'll just make it easy. I'm just going to go right-click and hide. I just want to copy what I've got here. So I'm going to go do my Control-C, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to paste it. What's going to happen? When I paste it, it's still bringing me over all my data. I don't want that. All I want is the data that I can physically see in this table now. I just want to get what's there. There are two different ways to do this. The easiest way is my keyboard shortcut. If I go Alt, colon, so I go in, do my Alt, colon, what it's doing is going, select just the data that you can see on the screen, and I'm going to go Control-C to copy, and Control-V to paste. And not only am I going to paste, but I'm going to bring over my column widths as well. Keep it really simple. Those same features as a part of your copy and paste, if we come up to find and select, it's all part of your go-to special. So in your go-to special, you've got visible cells only. I could have gone and clicked visible cells only, but much easier for me to use my keyboard shortcut, which is your Alt, colon, and bring that over. The one thing that I often will see is people want to align information, or they want to copy and paste from one table to a document to another. There's a very simple way to be able to do that. On the Home tab, you've got what's called your clipboard. There's your little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner to bring up the dialog box, or your window, if you call it. And that dialog box allows me to copy and paste different pieces of information. Because if I only copied once and I go to paste, I could go backwards and forwards between sheets again and again. But if I open up my clipboard, I can copy as many as I need, and then I can move across anywhere in my Office suite. I go, I want those names now. It could be I want to paste all. It could be I want to maybe just delete this one, so I can just do a paste all those names in, and there are those 4 names that I've just copied from the list. We can do that whether you're here, maybe you've come over and you're in, say, Outlook. There's that same list. I can now paste that list of individuals. Copy what you need to onto the clipboard. It will take up to 26 items on the clipboard for you to be able to work with. Copy what you need, paste what you need where you want to across the whole Office suite. Keep it simple. Office clipboard. So what we've got, if you want an attachment and you want to bring it over into Outlook, sometimes we can keep it really simple with just to grab it, drag it, hover over Outlook, if you've got hopefully your new email open like this, and I'm just going to drop it in. Simple copy and paste. Another really easy way to copy something is instead of dragging something around, if I hold my Control key down as I'm dragging, it duplicates. So it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. If I hold my Control key, if you're in, say you were in File Explorer and I wanted to copy something, I can do a Control key down, do a left click and drag, and it will do a copy. Say I'm in PowerPoint and I've got boxes that I want to replicate. I'm going to hold my Control key down as I drag, and it's copying. Another really great feature is what if I want to also keep it in line? Because it's very easy to copy something with my Control key and then it's not in line. I'm going to hold my Control key and my Shift key down, and as I drag it, you'll see it gives me the little lines to say, I'm going to keep this in line. So that's my Control and Shift key as I do a left click drag. Keeping it simple, have a play. Click around, hold different keys down as you're dragging your mouse from something. Hold your Control key down, or your Alt, your Shift in combinations. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to be too many damages there if you do. Okay? So getting in there, using this information, working with it cleverly. You've got lots of other pasting features, such as your now when you're working with your transitions and your animation. So your animation, you've got your animation painter. If you like a particular animation, select it, choose your animation painter, and then copy it somewhere else. Okay? And then that animation will move from one page to the next. If you're using OneNote, there are some great features within OneNote. Same sort of thing. Copy and paste from the internet. Choose something in particular that you might like. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to come over into my OneNote, and when I paste it into OneNote, it gives me my link back. Really great referencing. Keep it really simple, Control-C, Control-V. And that is my top hints and tips when it comes to some of the copy and paste moves. There are plenty of others. Go online, go and have a look, and there is a lot more that you can actually work with in this space. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer, or if you're not sure on something in particular, then let's see if we can answer some for you. Let's see, what have we got here? Anything in particular in the questions? Okay. So we've got a couple. Some can't get the Wiki app to load, or they can't actually get into their app store. Understandable. Hopefully you'll be able to get that one up and working. It comes to whether you're actually logged into the store as well. Moving content between OneDrive to a document library in Office 365. It is possible through the browser. That's actually correct. So if you had content that you wanted to copy into, say your OneDrive, maybe you didn't want to move it, you just wanted to copy it, you'd choose your data, you'd hold your Control key down and just go copy it, because sometimes when you do drag into OneDrive, it will move it rather than copy it. So just hold your Control key down and that will bring it in. But first you actually have to have open your OneDrive Sync app. Okay, so that needs to be there for you to be able to work with. Okay. So hopefully that answers all the questions that we have today of being able to move and copy content from one place to another and your copy and paste. If you do have any other questions, thoughts or comments, do feel free to post them in the User Work Wonders with Office 365 group. That's on our Office 365 Yammer network. I'm on there and happy to answer any questions. So that's at aka.ms. Do your / Office users on Yammer, and we can add you in there if you need it. You can also email us at 0365au2@microsoft.com and answer some questions there. Don't forget, there's a really great toolkit that you can actually download for these particular webinars, and you can invite others in. So tell your colleagues, get them in, and hopefully they can register as well. Thank you very much for joining us today for our copy and paste webinar, and I hope to see you again next week. Thank you very much for your time.